Okay, everybody, we are live from my 8 square foot kitchen. This is the Rob Gucci Show. It's good to be with you today. Some quick announcements before we get started with this shit show. Pittsburgh, unfortunately, we had to reschedule that date from tomorrow. It's going to be sometime, I believe, in February or March. We're working on it. That sucks, but we're going to come back bigger, better. We're going to come back fatter. We decided we need to go back to Arizona, put on some pounds, and show up to Pittsburgh just absolutely massive. And speaking of massive, I just started the show with gum in my mouth. Been doing this a very long time. No one wants to hear me chewing my gum, so I don't even know where to put it right now. I'm just going to stick it on the table like I'm at Disney World. You go to Disney World, it's just fat. I'm sorry, dude. You go to Disney World, it's just gum stuck to benches and people funneling churros and cotton candy, and it's fucking disgusting. Also, I guess I got to promote myself more now. Why you never promoting man? My latest Instagram post is kind of a snippet of the Let It Snow tour. That's at Robbie W. Gucci. A lot of pictures, cool pictures from tour. I'm giving away a game worn. I actually just accidentally washed it, so it's not. It will show up a little bit cleaner than it normally would have been. The Steve Kerr shirt, that's absolutely ridiculous. A lot of people are probably going to be offended by it, but it's just a joke. So I'm going to give away this, and I'm going to throw some hats in the packaging. All you got to do is go to my recent post, Robbie W. Gucci on Instagram, like it, drop a comment. I don't really give a shit what you say. That's baseball. You can post an emoji of a baseball. You don't have to do either of it. I really don't care. 42 people listen to the show. It's just, we live in a day and age where you got to promote yourself and you got to post after 6 p.m. and you're going to feed the algorithm, and then the algorithm, you got to, like, dude, just let me post shit, and people, if they look at it, they look at it. If they don't, they don't. Like, it's not that serious. It's not that big of a deal. None of us are making it out. A lot of us will end up getting hit by landscaping trucks on purpose and dying in the street, like my racist grandfather. But yeah, dude, we are back, and I'm only back here for a couple of days, and I have to go somewhere else that's not my kitchen. And then we're going to finish up that Canadian swing in January. All those are sold out. I don't know if Montreal sold out. I don't think it is. I think there's some shit left there. And then we're going to add on a couple more dates. We're just kind of figuring stuff out, figuring how touring works, dude. Like this Pittsburgh situation. I'm not really going to get into it. Long story short, it's just a learning curve of figuring out how to do this without plummeting our entire business into debt. But yeah, dude, you guys had a really good turnout in Pittsburgh. So the club wants us back at a mutual date, and we're going to figure that shit out. So I'm really excited to get back to that. The show, I don't know if you guys really care, but it was just, it's always eye-opening to go do something that doesn't involve a screen. And it's like when you're sitting behind a screen and a camera and stuff, like how do I put this? I don't know if I'm smart enough to articulate this. Like, it's not that it doesn't feel real. It's like, it's not it's real, but it's not real. Then you get it's kind of like all those guys right now that are buying those Korean virtual reality girlfriends. Like, yeah, if you're a weirdo, like, you're gonna have a great time with that, I guess. Not really my style. Like, I don't know. I just taking the absolute screws to a Korean robot, and then they make like the skin like synthetic, and they're always bragging like, oh, it's just like a real chick. Yeah, but it's not, though. Like, a bunch of 4-year-olds that are enslaved in Indonesia assembled these titties. Like, this is not a real girl. I just think it's weird. Like, that would be I don't want to talk about this at all, but the post nut clarity of fornicating with these like ultra realistic AI dolls has to be so weird when you get done with that. Like, that has to be like, what did I just do? Why did I spend $42,000 on this custom doll? Like, why is she sucking it like that? Like, why is a robot able to do this? But anyway, Australia actually just banned some social media. Jamie, pull that up. Australia just did something crazy, and we were talking about it on Patreon today. People on Patreon were asking me how I'm going to handle if I ever have kids, which I'd like to think I have kids. Like, I get it. We're in that kind of wave where all the baristas out there are just like, fucking kids don't even matter, dude. It doesn't fucking too expensive, overpopulated. It's like, I don't know, dude. I feel like it's kind of like a biological thing where where I want a family because I feel like I would get bored without one. Like, I just don't know if going on cruises and hitting on chicks half my age is really the alley for me. I think I'm kind of like I'm turning into a wholesome guy. It's fucking weird because every time I do something or go somewhere, like it's like everything I do is now gay or wholesome. I just got this new T-shirt. I love it, but it's like a waffle style T-shirt from this company that I'm gonna gatekeep. And like 2 days later, I heard someone call waffle shirts gay, and I'm like, okay. Um, and then there's like other shit that I like to do now. I know we've talked about this on previous episodes, but I have a real fireplace as opposed to an electronic one, and I really like it. And I think I fucking like it. And I feel like people are like, I didn't expect that out of you. People come over my apartment. I didn't know it would be this clean. It's just funny having like this image of being the ultimate shithead. And I'm whatever you think I am. I don't really care. My whole point to that rant was people were asking me about how are you going to manage your kids like cell phone and stuff. And it's a real issue because we have 4-year-olds that are the lead moderators on Reddit threads for big black ass porn. Doesn't have to be black, but you get my point. There's so much out there, and it's like we're in this weird learning curve, I feel like, and I don't have kids, but we're in this weird stage of life where we have all these lazy parents, and that's fine. I don't give a fuck how you raise your kid, as long as they don't go into an elementary school with a gun. We have all these weird kids now that like we're in this learning curve of wait a second. Why is my 7-year-old proposing? Like everything's just so sped up. Like kids have all this information. Like the most information I had when I was a kid was when Eminem was on a song one time and he was talking about how him and the lead singer of Limp Bizkit were like having a threesome with a girl or whatever. And I didn't know what the line meant. And then I found out like 2 years later, like, oh, that's what they're talking about. But now it's kind of like you give your kid an iPad because you're too lazy to actually parent them and you just want them to like just go on your screen. Just get away from me. Just go on your screen. Daddy is trying to win money on DraftKings. Go away. And it's like a lazy way out of parenting. And basically my answer to the person that asked me what am I gonna do is like I just hope that I'm gonna play with my gun. I don't know. This is disgusting, but for everyone watching right now, I'm gonna playing with my gum. This is disgusting. I'm just gonna try to like teach them like, hey dude, like maybe I'm gonna be like, how, like, for example, I don't want my Asian son to be 5 years old trading stocks on Robinhood. I'd rather him go outside. But then you have this whole other debacle where your kid goes outside. The next thing you know, he's on a shipping container headed to Cambodia and he's getting trafficked. However, I don't really know how real. I'm starting to get a little bit skeptical about child trafficking. I know it's a thing, but I think the numbers are inflated and I don't know why. I think they're boosting the stats of what they're really saying. But anyway, yeah, dude, we're trying to figure out like how do we get these 9-year-olds off the internet because it's not good. Like I was on the flight one time. I said this. I might have said this on the pod, or I don't remember where I said this, but I was searching the name of somebody, and I searched it in Twitter, and something came up, and it made my whole body go into like this hot flash. Like I started panicking because I, for some reason, care what the guy in the middle seat behind me. I look around my shoulder and he's just like looking through the crack of the seats. And on my phone is just balls, dude. And it's like, that's not what I was looking up. And it's weird, but Australia, Jimmy, pull that up. Australia on Wednesday, which is, it's Tuesday today, but it's Wednesday tomorrow. They became the first country to ban social media for children under 16, blocking access to TikTok, Alphabets. I don't know what that is. Maybe the LGBTQ stuff. I don't know. YouTube and Meta. And I feel like it's kind of like the right thing. Like we can't have like these kids. Listen, I don't know. I don't have the answers and I don't have kids yet. But by the time I have kids, I'd like to think that the government figures it out because I don't want to have these talks with my son that is addicted to vaping already. I don't want to have these talks about how, and I'm also never going to be a parent. I know I said this on Patreon, but I'm never going to be a parent to be like, all right, you can have the iPad for 45 minutes, then you're off. Fuck that. Like if I was my kid and I said that, I would be like, fuck you. If I told my kid, all right, by 9 p.m., no more iPad, no more cell phone, I'd take it away from him, and my kid looked at me in the eyes and said, fuck you, I would respect that. I don't want to be like this because then what happens is you get like ultra controlling and they get to college, they get to, they end up going to Ole Miss and the next thing you know, they are, they're doing way more acid than they should. They're dusting, they're sucking on things they shouldn't. It just becomes a nightmare. Because you don't want to kind of shelter them because then they want to break free even more. So I just hope the government figures that out so I could be like, look, I have nothing to do with why your phone's getting shut off at bedtime. Like that's not even me. That's the mayor doing that. There is absolutely no reason for you to be messaging your DoorDash driver when you didn't even order anything. Why is the DoorDash driver messaging my son? Too much. Like you have message on Spotify now. It's too much. So, what's up, chat? I just clicked on this. Somebody said my parents made a marble currency that made me and my bro use for video game time. See, I don't believe in that. And with all due respect to your parents, that scares me. I don't like that. I knew about somebody one time to where they would have a pillow and it was green and red on both sides. And green meant that they needed to talk. And if the pillow or the red pillow, they would put the pillow somewhere like on the living room. And if the pillow was red, they would say, hey, this means that we need to have a conversation instead of just approaching someone like a human being and saying, yo, we need to talk. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully that's not in the near future because I'm still just trying to figure out how to get back to Pittsburgh. We are trying to figure out how to get back to Pittsburgh. We will get there and do a show. So I'm not really too worried about my fucking pussy son being on his phone. But I do like to think that like, hopefully somebody out there figures out how to parent that. Because right now it's just not good. We got 5-year-olds drunk driving. 8-year-olds are pregnant. I was actually talking to a teacher the other day, and a couple of her students were pregnant in 8th grade. And that's literally disgusting. I had to take a bunch of Tums after I heard that. I don't want to hear about that. I didn't ask about that. But yeah, I guess, Jamie, pull that up. We're looking at the policymakers are saying this will make an enormous difference. It's one of the biggest social and cultural changes that our nation has faced. Yeah, like we got to let kids be kids. Like this screen contact, it's very weird. But anyway, it brings me to my point actually about chat. If you no, I don't have a kid. Dr. Kareem in the chat, who I hope is a real doctor. That would be sick. But yeah, it's just I don't need the Uber Eats driver coming inside my house and finding him in my son's bed playing video games. Like just because they were able to connect on DoorDash. Like there's no more too much connection. So speaking of real life connection, yeah, we did a show in Chicago. You guys absolutely showed out for us. The club is in charge of the tickets and stuff. So I didn't even really want a count because we had to switch the venue last minute and we're like, uh-oh. Like are people even gonna still come to this shit? Like, we've been promoting one venue for months and we switch, and we get there and there's like already a line at the door. And not to get sentimental on here, but that's pretty cool. Like, that's pretty, I don't know if humbling is the word or what the word is, but the fact that people are waiting outside when it's 16 degrees in Chicago for us to show up and do our thing is like, holy shit, dude. Like, that's really fucking cool. It makes doing a podcast in an 8 square foot kitchen in Scottsdale, beautiful city, horrible people, no disrespect. It makes it a little bit easier to see that, when people came and they showed up, and we were in the green, like this legendary green room, like these photos on the wall. Fuck, dude. Everybody you could name: Chappelle, Kevin Hart, the Bill Burrs, the Tony Hinchcliffes, the all the comedy heads out there gonna be like, oh, those are the guys he's naming. I'm just thinking about the guy from King of Queens, Kevin James, the guy from Good Burger was on there. There's just a bunch of legendary Whitney Cummings. There's a bunch of legendary comedians. Wow, just had a stroke on the wall, and you're like, holy shit, dude! Like, we're in a real green room. There's bags of Doritos in here. They had Fiji water. They had a monitor where you can see kind of like the crowd filling in, and the staff was fucking awesome. They were great. I could tell they kind of didn't really know what was going on. Well, we're a podcast, right? So they're like, wait, you guys are just a podcast. So the building was packed out thanks to you guys. The environment of a comedy club was so fucking cool. Like the low ceilings, everyone's in tight, everyone's facing the stage. It really it was really real. The lights were so bright, and I kept having to put my hand over my head, because when I split my brain in half during that 8-month bender, I'm kind of like sensitive to light right now. I'm working through it. Like, it's not like going to be a forever thing, because I don't believe in that. Like, I feel like you could fix chronic illnesses. A lot of people, I think I'm just too dumb to think that I can, and then it works. Like, if an octopus can change colors and grow their arms back, there's no reason why we can't fix stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we're I don't know how this episode's going, but when you break your arm, the shit just mends back together. Like, no one thinks about that. No one's talking about that. I never hear people say, like, hey, isn't it crazy that when you break your arm, even with no surgery, it mends back together? It's fucking out of control that's a thing. And nobody seems to care, because everyone's watching porn. And I have nothing against sex workers at all. I really don't. It's just a cheap laugh. That it's just a line I like to say, because so when your arm breaks, it's like, if I could fix that without even trying, like, hey, maybe if I'm light sensitive and it's hurting my eyes, maybe I'll just stare into the lights longer and tell my brain to get used to it. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how I feel like most people. Oh my God, is my microphone not on this whole time? Oh my God, I'm going through the fucking MacBook mic. Oh, why didn't anyone in the chat tell me that? My mic was off the whole time. Does that sound better? Oh my God, I just did 18 minutes of the show with my MacBook mic. Oh, you guys didn't notice? Okay, we'll continue. Fuck me, dude. What a nightmare. Been in the game this long, can't even turn my microphone on. It's unbelievable. But yeah, dude, anyway, what I was saying about the comedy club is that totally sold out, and thanks to you guys. And I wasn't even nervous. Like we've done a bunch of these now to where you get those pregame jitters, but like walking down the stairs right before showtime, I was like, holy shit, dude, this is fucking, this is weird. Like, this is cool. And the show went great, dude. It was funny. Like, my mic accidentally got shut off twice in the first 10 minutes. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then, like, Swish, like, picked up the slack while my mic was off. And then we were just fucking ripping it. And, like, in the middle of the show, I was kind of, like, looking out into the crowd. And I was like, damn, dude, we're fucking, like, ripping it. Like, even if this is bad, whatever. we're fucking in the arena. It was just a cool experience, and everyone was really cool. And the crowd is always so funny. They bring gifts, which is like unreal. Like I'm like, fuck, like, I want to give you guys something back, but I don't have anything. And a guy brought us chin do rags. A guy brought me a Cubs jersey, a Cubs t-shirt, and we signed some stuff, and it was fun, dude. And also, the one thing I wanted to say, and I know this isn't like a funny episode or whatever, but one thing I did want to bring up is that when we got done with the show and we ran that bitch long, like there's a little clock up there. Like, dude, it's so cool. Like something little like a clock. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Fucking you look up at the clock, it's like you're a UFC fighter. Except you had a couple Vegas bombs and you're just, shooting the shit. I think I was talking about the Pope or something. And right around the same time, I was like, fuck, dude, I'm talking about the Vatican right now. Like, what time are we at? And I look up and we're over an hour and we're just cruising. And the crowd, it's all glory to the crowd. And I would say to God, but I feel like he was dealing with that Lane Kiffin situation. So he wasn't really caring about HP3. And I looked up, I'm like, damn, dude, we're cruising. This is cool. And then we got done. And like the weirdest part was like the club manager or whoever like hands me a check. He's like, here you guys go. And I was like, for what? I was like, we're getting paid. I was like, oh, dude, you could have not even gave me that. I don't even care. I had so much fun. Who even cares? I don't even fucking want that. Like, it was a weird thing. I was like, really? I was like, what? I was like, what the fuck, dude? It was so fun. Then we went to Milwaukee the next night. That was a bit of a smaller crowd, but still diehard. And it was more of a different environment. It was more of like kind of a talk show vibes a little bit. We got to mix it up with the crowd a little bit more. But those fans were awesome. They hung in there the whole time. And sometimes when you do a show at a bar or something, people get distracted and they get so drunk and the venue's not really set up for a comedy club. And then doing comedy clubs, you kind of see like, oh, like this is so much better for us. So Milwaukee was great. Chopped it up with the fans after, the audience after, in the lobby too. That was really cool. And then yeah, man, we did Buffalo, and Buffalo was also like, the crowd was awesome. It was hilarious. I don't know if the staff really appreciated our jokes. There was a couple of times where I looked over and they looked really mad. And like, I get it. Like, you don't have to think we're funny or anything, but it's like, I'm also like, don't kill my vibe. Like, I'm trying my best, but not the shit on the venue too. We're lucky that they let us be there. I just kind of took a mental note in my head. I was like, oh, this one particular person definitely hates the show, but that's all right. You can't please everyone. Like, we're just trying our best. But they were great. Like, beforehand, I actually feel really bad. Like, I don't know how this works. I'm like, do we tip? So in the green room, they give you booze and stuff. It's like, wait a second. Since we're working, we're doing a show. Do we tip them for that? Like, the answer is probably yeah. But then I was like, wait, did we tip them? I can't remember what, but we're going to take care of them if we didn't already. I really don't know how that goes, but they were really great to us. And then, yeah, dude, that was pretty much it. Like, just meeting the people and the Patreon members too. They come on stage or wherever, they say, yo, I'm in the Patreon. I'm like, dude, fucking right. It's like, that's so sick. So yeah, it was a really cool experience for us. And yeah, we're back on the road in January. And again, I'm gonna promote myself again. This t-shirt, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see it. I wore these on stage for some of the time and I gave them away. If you go to Robbie W. Gucci Instagram, I'm giving away a game worn shirt. All you got to do is just like the fucking last picture I posted and comment. I'm gonna throw some extra shit in there. So yeah, dude, that was tour, and it was funny because it was like 3 shows we did, but it fucking just gets to your chin, dude. Like the travel and you got to learn how to manage it. Like, I completely understand why a lot of comedians were full blown cokeheads. I get it. Like, maybe I'll get there one day. I hope not, but I totally get it. Like, there's a lot of pressure. And there's a lot of times where you have to be like turned on, like not in a sexual way. I mean, like entertainment wise. And
you got to remember, people are paying to see this shit. You can't slack. You got to come prepared. And I think we did. I think we came prepared. It was like, it was good shit, dude. Like some people were not that, I don't even know why. Maybe I won't even post this as an episode because I'm kind of just in my own therapy room right now talking to myself. But some people are like recurring guests, or not guests, audience members are like, dude, you guys are so much better this year. You guys are so much more comfortable. You guys are so much more in the pocket. It's like, yeah, because we're trying to get good, you know. We're trying to get better. So that was cool to see that. But I get, like, I could for sure, if I didn't already go through a phase where like I was pretending to be a rich Persian guy in Scottsdale, I could totally see myself developing a gnarly drug addiction with life on the road. Like, you just need to be up and you need to fucking be going, and the late nights, and you're like, you get done from the show and you have all this adrenaline and you can't sleep, and then you get invited out to go whatever, and you know, you're boozing at the venue, or you're smoking at the venue, or you're just the environment is, it's something you got to learn how to manage. Like, the amount of kids that were like, where are you going? Where are you going? I genuinely didn't know. Like, I promise you, the last thing I'm thinking about when we're doing a show is where I'm going after, because I'm just really trying hard to like to make sure that as many people like the show. And I know Switch is too. That's kind of like, we don't really have that on our MO, I guess. Like, for example, in the earlier parts of the show, when people see that they get in my car and it's clean, they're like, oh, I thought this was going to be disgusting in here. I thought there was going to be puke everywhere. I thought there was going to be Reese's peanut butter cup wrappers everywhere. You know, I honestly thought you were a disgusting piece of shit. As I say that, and I just stuck my gum to the table because I started the episode with gum. So yeah, we're trying to like give it our all, but I could totally see like how you can get lured into that lifestyle of, you're hitting these cities and you're on the road, and you get caught up in that. But luckily, I went through that phase earlier in my life, and maybe like at ASU and stuff, where I went through a really cool phase where like you pretend like, it wasn't pretend, it was just kind of more reckless than I needed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't need to get arrested. Like, that's not me. You know, I didn't need to get arrested 3 times, even only one of the times I went to jail. It's like, it's just like, you know, what the fuck? And who knows, like, maybe this will really take off, and we'll be doing these big arenas, and I just, you know, ride the adrenaline wave, and I get hooked on ketamine or coke, and it's just totally debilitating, and I end up in a rehab facility in Tucson, Arizona, and it's $80,000 a month, but insurance is paying for 60,000 of it. And maybe that's the path that happens to me. And I really hope it's not. But I see how that could happen with with people that are in this line of work. Like, it's almost like when kids are asking me, where are we drinking? And I love the invitation, and I love the enthusiasm to chill, but it's like, dude, I have to like go rest. You know what I mean? Like, I got another one of these tomorrow. We have to go rest. Like, we have to eat. We have to drink water, you know? Like, dude, I know I love you for coming to the show, and I know that your boy, like, you know, the amount of kids that are like, like inviting us out and stuff. And even I'll get to the point where it's like, dude, I'll give out my phone number and stuff. And it's like, I genuinely want to come chop it up. And it's not like a situation where I feel like I'm too good for that or anything, but it's like, with all due respect, like, I just need to drink water right now. And maybe see if anyone from my family, you know, hit me up and asked how it went. Never mind. So yeah, it's a crazy thing. And it's like, it's really fun too. It's definitely fun, but you do have to manage it to some extent, right, dude? It's like, there's so many kids that are excited to go out with us, and it's just like, a lot of the times when I mention the issues with my Jewish lawyers, like when I would text them and I need them to get me out of stuff, and hey, an undercover cop found out that there was Hennessy and apple juice in my cup and I was in public. Like, what do I do? And then I have to forward him $1,000 on Zelle just to look at the ticket. And then I have to go to court. It's like, I've been down that road before and I just don't want to go down that anymore. You guys can do your dust safely. I hope you're doing stuff safe. I'm not your fucking dad. You could do whatever you want to do. But for me personally, it's just like, I don't want to get in a bad situation on the road. And that almost, that almost happened. Yeah, avoid the ketamine dudes in the bathroom. Yeah, it's a good story. Curtis Gabriel, what's up? I don't know if that's the real Curtis Gabriel, but if that's the real Curtis Gabriel, thanks for joining, dude. And then Palms, what up, dude? But yeah, Guy Esposito, thank you for the gifts. That was really cool. The people bring gifts to the show. And also, like, I just want to shout out, I know this isn't a typical episode of the show, but Mission Curfew, dude, just such great guys. We went to the Bills game on Sunday, and I'm not going to get into what happened, but basically, I'm not going to get into what happened besides me about to say what happened. Basically, allegedly, I said something to an undercover police officer. I don't know if this is true or not, but the driver of one of our cars said that undercover cops go around in the parking lot after the Bills game and they ask people, hey, do you guys have booze in the car? Can I get a beer? Can I get a beer? And they look for people to be like furta about it and be like, yeah, here you go. And then they pinch you right on the spot. They whack you with an open container, which is a weird thing to do when it's 10 degrees out and everyone's stuck in the parking lot, because whoever the architects are of the parking lots of Buffalo, with all due respect, you guys got to be the absolute urgent cares of architectural parking lot structures. Like, you get out of a Bills game, you bring go to Cabela's and buy a tent, because you're going to be in there for several hours. And I guess I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing. So to the undercover cop, I joked around that we don't have beer, we have something else, which wasn't true. It was just a joke. And the driver's like, don't say that. That's a cop. That's a cop. Do I think of it as a cop? I don't know. But I guess that's a thing. Undercover cops are going around and they're trying to give out tickets after a Bills win in the parking lot, which is kind of pussy, if you ask me. I don't like that. I don't like that. A lot of the times I feel like undercover cops shouldn't even be allowed, unless it's for something like To Catch a Predator or something. Then it should be allowed. For drinking beers in the car after the game or whatever, I mean, that to me is that's just a low blow. Yeah, To Catch a Predator was a gnarly show, dude. I just, there's something about that show. I wish I didn't know about that show. I don't want to be ignorant to the fact that bad stuff happens, but I might have said this before, but I just don't want to know that the guy that's making my acai bowl is trying to date little kids in his spare time. It's just something I wish, like, a guy, just your typical dude that works at Lids. You go in there, especially during the phase where I thought I was black for a little bit. I was getting like a White Sox hat and an Oakland A's hat because OGZ was wearing this dope Oakland A's hat, and I really wanted one. And I would just go to Lids, and you go to Lids, and the guy goes, hey, it's 2 for 1. You say, okay, I'll pick up another Washington Nationals hat, right? Like, I'm the official hat of people that have 400 credit scores. I'll get one of those. Why not? And then, the guy behind the desk, he's like, right on, bro. Also, do you want to customize your hat and you could stitch something? And you say no, and then you buy the hat. And then Lids emails you 400 times and they sell your data to Mark Zuckerberg, and you go on about your day. And then you go home and you turn on To Catch a Predator, and the guy that sold you the Oakland A's and the Washington Nationals hat is entering a home to try to hook up with a 15-year-old. And that's just not something that I wish I knew. Or at least I wish I had some sort of like Purell on me after I got out of the store to wash my hands with right away. Like, Ugh, it's fucked up. But anyway, yeah, man, the shows were so fun, and we're gonna be back on the road. Toronto sold out, Ottawa sold out, and then Montreal. There should be. I'm really curious at how the Montreal crowd's gonna be. Uh, the last time I was in Montreal, you know, it wasn't a bad experience, but I did realize that the people. I'm gonna give them a chance because I don't believe in generalizing. Even though Scottsdale is filled with horrendous people with horrible personalities, and most people have a really bad case of narcissism and this entitlement complex that I can't really get around, and it's a horrible city. It's a city filled with just terrible people, and that's with all due respect. And I don't want to generalize, but it's just a horrendous city when it comes to personality. I don't want to put that on Montreal quite yet because I was only there once. And the only thing I did was it was like some bachelor party shit, and like I don't even know if it's considered a strip club. It was kind of like a you guys know me by now. I'm not a big strip club guy unless it's like a ghetto one because I love the music they play. They play like DJ Esco, and they'll play like future songs that you've never heard of. It's just so fucking cool, and like real Boston Richie. Like I almost like the rap more than I like the titties. But yeah, I'm curious to see how Montreal receives us. I really am. Because anyone going to the show is going to be, you assume that they are familiar with our work, our very prestigious work. But every crowd is different, for sure. Like every crowd is different. Like doing this shit, you realize, like sometimes you say something, it just doesn't hit, and then you say something in a different city. Not that we're scripted. That's the other thing. Is that when kids are asking us to go out and like we're flattered by it, but we got a show the next night, or we got three shows in 4 days or something. Or it's all like improv. So we got to be like on point, like be making shit up. It's not just like we're replaying, it's not written out. I feel like most guys, and not to pump our own chins, but most guys, it's hard enough to create conversation with your buddy when you're just at a bar 4 days in a row. Like when you're on just an absolute bender with your boy without full-blown alcohol use, it's hard to just talk to your boy for 4 days. It's hard to talk to anybody for 4 days straight. So we really got to focus on going out there and putting on a good show for the people in person. I don't really remember how I got into that, but it's actually kind of funny that I was just making fun of Scottsdale, even though I'm not going to generalize an entire city, because everyone basically has like their own video game going on. That's one thing I realized when I got older. Like everyone's in their own video game. Like I could be like, Scottsdale's filled with terrible people, and another person could just have a full-blown different experience. Because maybe they're living around people from Iowa or wholesome people. And I'm stuck living around douchebags from California or something. So like it took me a long time to figure that out. Not a long time, but it's like, you guys are listening to a guy that I hit puberty when I was like 28 years old. So I've always been late to the curve a little bit with pretty much everything. Probably just because I spent half my childhood in family court making false statements that my certain parent told me to say. But that's for a different episode. We are not going to get into that today. But Scottsdale, I literally got back into the city last night. And I go to Black Rock Coffee this morning. And one thing that for some reason, I don't know why companies do this, they have 2 lanes for a drive-through, but there's only one place to order. So it's so they can stuff more cars in there. So I pull in the right lane, and no disrespect, but Arizona is a beautiful state, unbelievably beautiful state. Just filled with very dumb people. And I pulled in on the right side, and for some reason, the left side was moving quicker because I don't know who got there first in line. So the left side moved in, and they're ordering at the little speaker, and I'm behind this car in the right lane. And now Drive-throughs have mergers now. Like McDonald's is doing it for some reason. Some asshole decided to make up this thing where there's two lines that merge. Jamie, pull that up. Why did they do that? I don't want to lose sight of this really cool story I'm about to tell you guys, but hold on. Jamie, pull that up. Why do companies have 2 lanes in drive-throughs but only one place to order? Question mark. Companies design most drive-throughs with 2 lanes merging into one, often called a dual lane single order point tandem layout, for a very practical reason. It dramatically increases throughput, cars served per hour. While keeping cost and complexity reasonable. Now, what's not reasonable about this is these assholes that know that you're there first, but their line is moving quicker. And that happens in Arizona. Jamie, pull that down for a second. When people in Arizona think they're pulling a fast one. They really do. They really think they're pulling a fast one. They don't care. It happens at Dutch Bros all the time. They don't give a fuck. If their line is shorter, they don't care. They don't give a fuck if you were there first. For me, listen, I'm not trying to say I'm a Nobel Peace Prize winner over here. But if I pull into a dual drive-through and I see that someone's ahead of me, but my line's shorter, I pull up a little bit. And I wait because I'm a regular civilized human being. And I realize that they were there first. And no matter that my line's technically shorter, they deserve to go ahead of me because they got there before me. You'd think that most people understand this concept. Arizona, wrong. They just go ahead. And it really just makes... It's embarrassing for humankind. And it's probably like a 3-minute difference too, not even. So anyway, Jamie, pull that up. So when they have dual drive-throughs, more people can get put in, yada, yada, yada. So anyway, today... Okay, it says right here, too long, don't read. Running 2 actual order stations is expensive and operationally messy. The merge into one design is sweet spot for speed versus cost. Jamie, pull that down. So they don't really care that they don't really give a shit that the customers are just being savage out there. So I get there today. This guy in a piece of shit BMW, an old BMW, has like tinfoil rims on it. And I know what you're thinking. But the answer is no. It was a white guy. And he like beelines it to the merge point. And I'm already there first. And he starts to go ahead of me. And I said, you know what? I just got back to Scottsdale. I'm not going to let some douchebag cut me today. Usually I don't care because it's not that important. It's not like I'm clocking into work. I'm not late to work. Because I actually know how to manage my time. I don't know if people in Scottsdale know how to do that yet. They need their Cybertrucks to tell them what to do. Like these guys, I mean, they don't even take pisses unless their Cybertruck tells them, okay, it's time to pee. And it's like, I just said, I'm just going to go because it's my turn. So I start to go, and all of a sudden, I hear this guy screaming at me. Like, I wish I can draw it on the screen for you guys right now. I hear this guy fucking yelling at me. And I look to my left, and he's got his window down. And I put my window down. And he's going, "Why are you driving like a jackass? Why are you driving like a jackass?" And I said, "What?" And he goes, "There's 2 places to order." And I go, "No, there's not. There's 2 lanes. There's 1 speaker. Is it your first time here?" Keep in mind, he's already called me a jackass 2 or 3 times. It's 9 a.m, by the way. And he goes, "There's 2 places to order." And I pointed out my window. I go, "There's 1 speaker to order. I was here before you. You know that. What are you doing?" He goes, "Yeah, but you didn't have to drive like a jackass." And now we're like neck and neck, both guys with the windows down. And I said, how am I driving like a jackass? And I didn't even get like heated at this point. I actually didn't even get heated during the whole altercation. This guy was like some fucking overweight 40-year-old. Just he was a mess. He looked like if you take an Xbox lobby and you put it in a Petri dish. That's what this fucking disgusting piece of shit looked like. So I said, how am I driving? I said something along the lines of like, how am I driving like a jackass? I was here before you. You know that. I'm going to order now. So I guess he didn't like that I like turned in before him because he was trying to cut me. And then he literally said, do you want to get out of the car? And I'm not a tough guy, but I truly believe in my heart that I would have beat this guy's fucking ass. Unfortunately, I'm not, I don't have that low IQ behavior in my playbook anymore to where I'm willing to get out at a Black Rock Coffee drive-through and fist fight somebody. Because fighting like that is for poor people. And even though that I have credit card debt, I'm not going to succumb. I'm not going to put myself in a situation like that. It's just ridiculous. Like this guy must hate his life. He must be going through a lot. You know, he's miserable. And sometimes you got to remember in the moment that other people behave the way they do because it's a reflection on how they feel. Welcome into the Rob Gucci Show. Sometimes I get like this on Patreon, but it's not like I know everything about everything. It's just like, that's how, you know, as a guy that hit puberty when he was 27, I kind of figured out, oh, okay, like fighting in public, that's a low IQ behavior. Okay, I get it. That's for people that, oh, okay. I totally understand now. So I ignored the comment of him asking me to fight, and he kept calling me a jackass. He said, I don't know if he had autism or Tourette's or something like that, but he called me a jackass around 8 or 9 times. And also in my head, I'm like, I'm not going to resort to name calling. Keep in mind, we're in the drive-thru still. And I start to look, I look forward, and this guy was incredibly stupid. And I start to like get on with my life and go order because the car ahead at this point already went through. So now the people in Black Rock were over 100% like just listening to the screaming match, even though I wasn't yelling, through their headset. So I was about to go forward and I said, you know what? My window is still down. I think it was like halfway up, actually. I put it back down. I go, you know what, man? How late are you to work when you were this mad? Go ahead. Go ahead. He goes, you go ahead, you jackass. And I was like, how late are you? Like, you must be so late to work. That's what I said. And I go, how are you this mad? It's 9 a.m. So finally I go ahead and I order my coffee, and then I got to the window. I know this is a really dragged out story. And then I bought his coffee for him. I told the girl, I was like, she heard the screaming match, and I could kind of tell she wanted me to like say what happened. But I go, hey, can you do me a favor? Just throw the guy behind me his order on my tab. Maybe it'll lighten his ass up. I bought his coffee, and I just went about my day. And I actually hit a red light going out of there. So he was behind me, and like, he was still mad. I could see it in his face. He was still fucking mad, dude. And I just big dogged the shit out of this guy. And like, there's nothing that a random guy in an old BMW that has 140,000 miles on it that hates his own life could do to make me upset. Like, we just came off of 3 incredible shows. Like, my morale is high. I honestly felt bad for him. I really did. So it was a good experience today in Scottsdale. I was like, welcome back. If there's a God out there, I don't know who, I think there's multiple gods. I don't want to get into this on this segment of the show, but I think like the sun is a god. It has to be. I think the sun is just one of the gods out there. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of signs that keep telling me like, hey man, maybe you should leave Arizona. Because I keep having these weird experiences, such as like, and I'm not saying I'm always right and I make mistakes, but like something as simple as just going ahead in order respectfully to get my coffee, and some jackass just completely goes off the fucking rails at me and tries to throw off my vibe. And that's one thing that you can't do. Like, you can't, you're not going to switch up the vibrations I'm going through. You're just not. I had a fucking chocolate cake on the plane last night. You think you're going to get me mad at 9 a.m. in a coffee drive-thru? And first of all, I would have beat that guy's ass. And I'm not that tough. I think I'm a scrappy fighter if I have to fight. And I think I do have a good chin. I've been hit before. I know what it's like. I'm not one of these guys I'm not one of these white kids that just, they square up for a fight. They say the N-word 4 times. I never understood that logic either. There's way too many videos out there of white people squaring up, and then all of a sudden they turn into Jadakiss and they're dropping the N-bomb every other word, fighting in the parking lot of a Quick Trip. And they've never been hit before. So the second they get touched, they just get slapped. But I would have beat this guy's fucking ass if it came to blows and I had a low enough IQ to where I decided to get out and engage in mutual combat in the drive-thru of a Black Rock Coffee. And also, like, dude, I can't get arrested. I'm busy. I have to go places. I have to do things. I don't know what kind of job that this guy has, but I just can't face an assault charge from who's getting their coffee first. So yeah, that was today. I'm gonna get out of here unless the chat got anything for me. Let's see here. NAHL camp. I don't know when that was. 2014 maybe, or 15. What up, Cornbread? Dude, Cornbread, I was about to text you. How do I put this? I don't want to badmouth our merch department, but like, I can only do so much without walking into an office with a loaded firearm and making threats, to where, like, I have packages that I want to get out for certain people because we don't handle our merch anymore. And it's just like, how do I put this without jeopardizing, trying to learn how to not badmouth companies anymore. But we promised you a merch package. We're gonna get it to you. It's just like, I'm trying my best. What else? Buffalo looked like a movie. It was so much fun, dude. The crowd's just the best. A lot of chicks in the chat in real life there. That was cool. Dude, we walk out on stage. There's fucking 4 girls in the first row. I was like, are you guys fucking kidding me? It's already nerve-wracking enough to do this shit, and there's gonna be fucking boobs in the first row? Fuck. But it was good though. They were great. They what I liked about them is they weren't just like tagging along. They genuinely were like, or if you tag along to the show, that's great. If you go with your boyfriend, that's dope. Like, I fuck with that. Anyone in the building, we appreciate. But what I'm saying is, like, they were first row fans. So that was really cool. It's not like I'm shocked that there's women that listen to the show. That's not what I'm trying to get at. But when usually the audience is 99.8% dudes, it's kind of, it throws you for a loop when you get out there on stage. And you like look in the first row. It's like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? But no, they were great. The whole crowd was great. Everything was good. When is Boston? We're going to figure that out. Probably, usually we try to wait a year before we go back somewhere, but we're going to try to make it before that. Chinneapolis, we're working it out. I've never been there, but according to Switch, it's kind of like a different kind of city where it's laid out with the suburbs. And obviously, I don't know, there's like some Somalian civil war going on there. I don't know if that affects us at all. But we have a very heavy Somalian fan base. So shout out Tegrity. I don't know what's going on with that, but we're going to get there. Chicks love R-word guys. Yeah, I guess that's hot right now. Burly guys are in. I was just at a bar a couple weeks ago where I was chatting up these lovely ladies. I wasn't hitting on them. I was just talking to them. I don't say my personal life on the show, because if you do, it's just not worth it. But they were talking about how fat guys are popular right now. So that was cool. What's up, bro? I'm Fernandez in the chat. I don't know. What's up, bro? When you come back to Chicago, hopefully soon, man. We should have done fucking multiple nights. I can't believe we packed a fucking house. Dude, I meant to say this, but I don't want to like say it as a brag. I'm just saying it because I'm in awe. I didn't know that it was a sold out show until like right before the show. And a guy came up the stairs and he's like, we're like, yo, like how many people are coming to this thing? Because the tickets go through Zanies. And they're like, oh, it's sold out. I was like, what? I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Retro Man, what up? Thank you for coming to both shows. Retro Man came to Chicago show and then drove to the Milwaukee show. Went to both shows. I'll never forget that, Retro Man, for as long as I live, dude. I'll never forget that. And if we ever do a show at like an arena or a big thing, like you bet your ass you're coming on stage. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. My chin's good, dude. Thank you for asking. My chin is very stung. It's just like kind of 3 shows, 4 days. We had the Bills game. It's a lot of energy output, just trying to like manage it and stuff like that. But I had like a good day today. Got some like shit I had to do done. I went on like 3 different walks. I talked to my mommy on the phone. That was cool. And then I got in a fight at the drive-through at Black Rock. That was very exciting. And then, like, honestly, dude, I really want to get back on the road. I don't know what's going on. I don't get it. Dude, guys, we're going to be at the Super Bowl in Dallas, and then we're going to do something for the Winter Classic in Miami. So those are 2 things that I absolutely shouldn't have said yet, but we're doing it. So that's baseball. I'm really excited. Sometimes I just get so excited about stuff that I have to announce it. So hopefully you guys pull up. And I don't know what we're going to do. It's not going to be live shows, but we're going to be doing stuff. I think Dallas is actually going to be a show, but it's going to be different. It's going to be Book It is going to shout out to Book It HQ. They're going to have us do like kind of a halftime little rip. It's going to be like 30, 40 minutes or something. I don't know. It's not going to be like a official HB3 show. Or maybe we'll put it on the calendar as that. I don't know. But fly to Dallas and say what up. That's one where I don't think that we're going to have to call it a night because it really just broke my chin in half when I had to tell people in Chicago that night. Like, shout out to Garrett Sparks, dude. Fucking, obviously, friend of the show. Just the best dude. He came to the show and, like, it sucked having to be like, dude, we can't go out because we have a show in Milwaukee tomorrow night. And it's like the responsible dude is to not go out. Responsible thing to do. But for the Super Bowl, I would imagine that that's a green light go kind of night. So if you guys want to come to that shit in Dallas, you'll see the post when it's official because for some reason I'm talking about it right now. Should be a scheduled green light after every show. Yeah, dude, you like to think that kind of rock star lifestyle is sustainable, but it's not. Maybe if I was 23 years old, I could have done that or something. But now that I'm getting old and like I kind of decided that it might be smart to pursue a career and maybe have healthcare eventually. I feel like it's just not the smart thing to do. You kind of pick and choose your spots. So if I'm a pussy for that, that's okay. You're talking to a guy that takes walks on the beach and picks up seashells and what's some other gay shit I do? I don't wear sunscreen, so that kind of evens out the picking up the seashells. Love wearing a blanket on the couch. I think that's cool. Texas Toast, you're welcome for doing the shows, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. But all right, guys, that's baseball. One more time, my Instagram, Robbie W. Gucci, my latest post. Just throw a like on it, throw a share on it, throw a comment on it, whatever the fuck. I'm giving out this game-worn shirt that I wore. And I'll tell you guys what I did, actually, because I'm probably not going to do it again. In Buffalo, I wore this out on stage, and then the crowd, like, wanted it. And I was like, who wants this shirt? And like people were just like, like they want the shirt. I was like, fuck. And I kind of went on about like, it's my favorite shirt. Like, I only have one of these things. Fine. Like, you guys are a great crowd. Like, I'll give it out. So I took off this shirt and then I fucking got your ass. And I had another one under it. And that got a fucking pretty good pop from the crowd. They didn't see it coming. I played it off like it was my only shirt. And then I threw that one to the crowd too. So I had 2 Steve Kerr shirts on, which I was hoping you guys would like that. And you guys did. So now I can never do that again because I just gave it away. But yeah. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. Oh, fuck. It's almost 8 o'clock. So now I'm going to have to eat like shit because most of the good places are closed. Okay, that's it, dude. That's baseball. Love you guys. Fucking thank you for everything. Appreciate you guys so much. I'll be back. I'm gonna be back probably with another episode on Thursday. I gotta travel, so I want to hit you guys with another episode. And then this is on YouTube. If you can go like and comment on all that. Like, just fucking, I hate saying all this shit, but it is what it is. Yeah, dude. Thank you guys. I love you guys. I'll be back and appreciate all the support. Means the world. You guys have no idea, dude. And I say it all the time, like, means the world. I don't know what else to fucking say. Just does. I'm out of